Zane hosting this one?
Dude, I feel so sick this week.
Yeah. I finally got over my whatever today.
Whatever.
God damn it, I took it from you.
My sinus infection today, and then Sage is just like all over the place.
Welcome to the Lazy Revolver podcast.
What are you doing?
It sounds like you're having a seizure. You're not sick.
When you do that voice, I picture like the old gravedigger or whatever from like the cliched movies where he's like has a hump on his back. So don't go in there.
Spooky.
Welcome to the Lazy Revolver podcast.
Welcome.
I'm your host, Sage.
Greenwald
Next to me,
is
Zane.
Greenwald.
And next to him is...
This is bullshit.
Nate Greenwald.
What?
The three brothers.
Okay.
We all look so alike.
They were adopted.
Yep.
From
That's all there is
from
to
our
say about
homes
that.
in Uganda.
Brought to you by Reds. Refreshing and crisp apple taste.
No podcast coffee this week, unfortunately.
Nah, it's soda today.
It's soda all the way.
Yeah, this is soda.
Yep.
Whoa.
look at
It's
it.
definitely soda. So, a little bit of a slow news week this week. So, if we have nothing to talk about, we'll just end the podcast. We'll just stop it right then and there.
I mean, we don't have anything to talk about though, so
Well,
End the
but we could-
podcast.
done.
We could
We're
talk.
over.
We could talk about not having anything to talk about. That's what the news does all the time. They keep repeating stories until it,
Until it happens.
until it's essentially
Fake it till
fear-mongering.
you make it.
Me and Savannah are watching House of Cards right now, and there's one line in there that I think is funny. They say, if you keep on saying the word allegation enough and presenting these allegations, they become fact, and everyone thinks of them as fact. And I was like, that's very true. That's why whenever we kept on putting the word Ebola crisis on 5 times a week, every single week for a month, people started being like, man, this Ebola thing's really crazy. I'm like, yeah, we've reported on the same one person that has the Ebola.
When's the last time anybody's
Hey.
talked about Ebola?
We still talk about it today.
Hey,
We
guys.
reported on
Really?
the story, but it's all overseas now. It's nothing in the U.S.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Or is that what they're telling us?
what
Because,
they're telling
this is how the zombie apocalypse starts.
So, zombie apocalypse and epidemic, are they the same? I mean, essentially they are.
No.
Really, you don't think they're? I feel like zombie.
Do you know what...
Do you know what the word epidemic means?
But I'm saying like a lot of epidemic movies to me seem like they have the
Oh.
same like story plot of a zombie apocalypse, except for I guess the biting zombies.
Well,
but
technically, if it's a zombie apocalypse, would it be an epidemic or a pandemic? One of them is global. I think it's epidemic.
I think
global.
epidemic's global because there's
So then
that game
technically, yeah, then
it's called Epidemic.
Zombie apocalypse would be epidemic.
But I mean, back to my question: are they the same?
No. Because
No, 'cause there's-
you could make a movie that was like the idea of The Division, and that doesn't involve zombies.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, what if you put zombies into Division? Would it be the same game? I feel like it would be very similar-ish of a game.
No. Well, I mean, you shoot people.
You just add NPC zombies into it, especially
So-
if they're slow zombies. They're not that impactful to the game.
It's kind of, well, yeah, I guess.
Just like they're not that impactful
It's like The
to
Last
the
of
world.
Us. If you take out the zombies of Last of Us, it's still a good game, right?
Technically, though, they're not zombies in The Last of Us. They're like
Aw.
mutated not the ball. They're mutated humans because of that. What do you call that? Cortisone?
Cordyceps.
Cordyceps.
Cortisone. Cortisone 10. Coming to epidemic crises near you.
So, but the Last of Us, that was actually based on a real thing. They're based on
It's based on an actual fungus.
that takes over ants' brains.
It's not. Ants is the main one, but it takes over. There's different types of fungi for like a lot of insects in the animal kingdom.
Are there any for humans?
No,
No.
that's what
There
the whole
may be.
idea of the game is.
But there may be actually.
Okay, let's be
Did
honest.
you guys know about this?
What?
It's
No.
a I think it's a parasite rather than a fungus, though. It's a parasite
Yeah.
that makes
Okay.
people more susceptible to liking cats. It's actually a parasite. It's a thing that's in brains. So crazy cat ladies actually are very sick people.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a parasite that basically makes cats better predators because the animals will let down their guard. I forget what it's called though. I'm gonna have to look this up. But it's like a weird parasite they found in humans' brains who liked cats and were around cats all the time.
This sounds like a Google April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
you've
it
fallen
is.
victim to a Google
Do we have to
April
do
Fool's
corrections
joke.
again?
What
Because
about
Sage
zombie
just
cats? Would zombie cats
made up
just rule
facts.
the world?
Zombie cats would rule the world.
You're just done. at
There's
that point.
only been zombie
No.
dogs. Have there been zombie cats
There's
yet?
been zombie sharks. I'm pretty sure there's been zombie cats.
Zombie cats would be indestructible because cats are better than dogs in
Whoa.
predator stance. I love dogs way more than cats.
Yeah, dogs
But-
are way
that-
better.
But a cat,
dogs are way better.
cat could mess
Dogs
you
are way
up.
better. Have you ever seen a wolf pack devour a person?
Okay, that's a pack, but
No,
I'm
I've
talking
seen
about a
zombie
single.
devour people.
Yeah, a zombie pack.
Have
No.
you not? It's like common.
It's crazy.
Turn on the TV. It's on almost every channel.
Watch The Gray.
A single cat will mess you up. A single cat. There's a video, Pinky the cat. Look it up. That
Pinky.
cat.
That Pinky
cat,
the cat.
That cat destroys its owner because a dog 1 point of attack, the mouth, right?
Okay.
Cat has 5 points of attack.
I'm a human. I have a massive leg that will punch you into the next room.
Okay, you with your wolf pack. Now you got 10 cats. What are you gonna do?
Nate's massive leg is actually his penis. It's just it's an innuendo for his penis.
Then I'll use the other legs.
He's gonna fuck you into the next room.
Also, do you have to bite to spread the zombie virus?
That reminds me of the story that guy told us last night.
What?
About how he had this girl who was riding him so hard he went from the grass to this random dirt patch that was like
You gotta
20
start-
feet
hold on,
away.
you gotta
What?
start this
She was
story.
literally dragging him as she was riding him cowgirl all the way up.
That was not the so for those of you listening, that was not the crucial point to this story. That was just a detail to the fact that she rode him all the way to a dirt patch. This dirt patch happened to be the owner of the household's dog's grave.
Oh no!
He had sex on top of a dog's grave.
I hope that dog became a zombie and bit him. That's what needed to happen.
The funny thing is what he said was that he said at least that dog got to see some action. That's what he said to the owner.
It
That's
was
so.
perfect.
I like to think that the owner took out a shotgun and
Did he
just,
come
old
outside?
school style was like, get off my property.
Also, that
That's
has to
fucked
be.
up.
That also has to be uncomfortable.
From what
Like
he said, the
if-
owner was more like
if
a
you're
frat boy.
if you're grinding against a dirt path, that can't be pleasurable at that point. No matter what's happening.
I mean,
She
he
made it.
said. Now he did say this was his first time, so I'm pretty sure like at some point you're just like holding on for dear life. Like
Yeah.
I just gotta gotta
Like-
survive this. As long as I can make it through this, I will be okay.
Like, the way he described it, I'm just, she fucked the shit out of you. Normally it's the other way around, but holy shit, dude. The fact that she dragged you.
Now, do you think you're immediately condemned when you fuck on top of a dog's grave, or do you think like you have to fuck on top of a couple of dogs' graves to like warrant the death sentence?
I want this soundbite of you saying this, taken out of context and posted everywhere.
How many dogs' graves do you need to fuck on top of?
To be condemned.
There's got to be a law against that, right? Like you can't fuck in a cemetery.
Well, that's
on top of
private.
human
That's
graves.
private property.
Yeah, you're also.
That's also-
you shouldn't fuck in public or at a kids recital.
But I'm just thinking about like how many times do you think somebody has to fuck before the federal court has to get involved? Like you need to be stopped. We need to stop this dog grave.
You
fucking.
become a public enemy.
Number.
now it sounds
number
like
69.
they're fucking the grave.
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially, I mean, depending on what position you're in, you could be pretty damn close to it. I feel like there's got to be some state somewhere. There's so many weird laws out there, like the fact that you can't shoot giraffes from a moving car. You got to park the car, get out, and shoot the giraffe. Don't know what giraffe is living in America, but it's like it's like very specific laws like that, where you're like, there's got to be a law somewhere that says you cannot have sex on top of a dog's grave. Somewhere.
It probably says every grave.
Why is it specific to a dog's grave?
It's because, I mean,
It's
listen,
special.
If you fuck on top of a cat's grave, not that many people are gonna care. That cat probably deserved it at some point.
And a human grave, just we don't even mention that.
No, that's all. I think that's illegal in every state. I think.
Well, yeah.
It's illegal to fucking public in every state.
Well, what if I'm buried under a house? What if I'm buried under like that bed?
Is it
over
illegal
there?
to have sex in public overseas? Some
wanna have
places.
sex?
Do you know how many buildings are built on top of an Indian burial ground?
I don't
Lots
know.
of them.
Well, there was war all
Do you know how
throughout
many?
the country. So
And do you know how many people have sex on top of those in those buildings on top of Indian burial grounds? A lot of them.
And do you know how many people have sex on top of those buildings that are on top of Indian burial grounds? A lot of them.
And do you know how many dogs probably have sex?
Sex
They probably deserve it.
What? Okay, so this is just a political spamming podcast about how we should be allowed to fuck on graves.
So I'm writing a bill for Congress to stop the dog grave fucking. 2015. We're gonna get pushed through, guys.
Hashtag it. Hashtag it.
Yeah,
Dog.
that's how we pass bills now, is through the who can get the most hashtags.
Just remember to mention something about internet buffering and you'll get in.
Sarah Palin. Anyway, so zombies.
Are we talking more about zombies?
I do want to talk about more about zombies because we had a very spirited conversation earlier of which is scarier, a slow zombie apocalypse or a fast zombie apocalypse. My answer,
Like fast zombies or slow zombies?
yes,
or,
like
okay.
which in both movie form and in real life
Vote in the
would be
comments.
more horrific. A slow onset of zombies where it's like the spread is very fast, but the actual movement of the zombies is slow, where the danger is more in the horde rather than in the individual zombie itself. Or is the fear more in the fast zombie, the one that every single zombie, whether it's horde or individual, every single time you see them, it is a fight for your life. And my answer is slow zombie, because I personally think slow zombies are more horrifying because they are the slow onset to an inevitable end. And Nate, what was your answer?
Fast zombies, because slow zombies would be noticed too quickly.
Zane, what do you think?
Well, I'm kind of confused because I would say fast zombies. If there were few fast zombies, but they were fast, I feel like our government would be able to take action in that stance.
Okay.
But if there were a ton of slow zombies, either way, I think the zombie apocalypse wouldn't be as fun as we all crack it up to be.
Well, I mean, obviously not. I think
Our government's too good at this point to let us have fun in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I think it would be very short.
I disagree completely. You guys should read World War Z. They actually bring up a lot of really good points that, to me, there's always cracks. That we think the government is this solid, tight thing, but I feel like a good example was the guy who ran into the White House. He just jumped the fence and ran into the White House. It's like you're told all throughout your life there's like trained snipers, there's dogs on the grounds, there's constant security every single second of the day. And all this guy had to do, he made it into the White House. They didn't even have the time to lock the door to keep him in the front yard. He made it inside the White House by just jumping the fence. That, and then also a drone got shot down over the White House. I think it was like a month or two later. Like, you would think it made it over the White House. If it had a bomb on it, you shoot that thing down, that bomb's still going to go down on top of the White House. They've won. It's like, little security things like that. The TSA
I have an
checking
idea
this
for
or
a
that.
movie now.
I'm just saying, like, when you think about it, like, do you really think the government's that quick to react? I personally think they wouldn't. And I also think they would get a lot of pushback. I mean, think about it like this. You have a zombie that people don't really get that they're zombies. People think that they're joking, or they think that they're cosplayers, or they think that they're just playing around or things like that. Maybe they did bite and everything like that, but think of it like this. How many times do you see police brutality for somebody who truly, honestly, did probably deserve some of it? I'm going to get a lot of flack probably for saying that, but, there's some people that just are like, he was throwing punches at the cops and they took out a gun and shot him. I'm like, well, he was throwing punches at the cops. Like, come on now. Like, you invoked some violence there. So I'm saying, like, there would be a lot of people that would be like, you can't shoot these guys because they're not zombies. They're not this, and those people will help it spread.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I think our world could at least attain like Last of Us level of living. Like, because it wouldn't be a good life, but it would just be a really boring life inside of these walls where you have a curfew and you have to get to bed. I think we could attain that.
Yeah.
And it would make life really boring and sad.
But that's you say attain that, but that's still a not the same life. They aren't under the same government in that game. They are under essentially a martial law type thing, afraid of every single human and non-human outside. Essentially all government has crumbled, and you are in what's an equivalent to a ghetto.
I don't know. I feel like I would just wind up in a ghetto. In a zombie apocalypse, I'm probably just going to be in a ghetto.
And that was the whole...
I want to be the hero, but I'm going to be in a ghetto.
If it gets bad enough to the point where it's global, and I see it getting to that Last of Us level where we have ghettos and everything, but it would still be a thing of people would know that as soon as someone's bitten, they wouldn't be so sappy about it because all the people that were died.
But they were sappy about it. In the game, they were sappy about it.
Remember how it happened, though? When... Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for The Last of Us. It's old enough.
Click, go. Okay, so Tess gets bitten. And remember what she does? She basically takes herself out and lets herself get killed because she knows that she's going to turn. And even Joel knew that he's going to have to shoot her.
But Joel didn't want to leave.
And he was already going through the stages and getting to the fact that, okay, she's going to have to die because I'm not going to endanger my life.
But she had to threaten him to
her.
leave. She had to threaten him to leave. He still didn't accept. I mean, as hardened as he was, he still didn't accept that she was gone. And my point is that somebody as hardened as Joel came that close to not accepting it. Think of just a normal Joe.
Yeah, but
being faced with a zombie.
But all the normal Joes will either become hardened to the point as that,
I don't know,
where they're gonna have to just let them go, or they're gonna be wiped out because they're gonna be the minority in that situation. Because the majority will be the people that are able to deal with it and just continue on.
My only thing though with the zombie apocalypse that I feel like even though yes you could maintain that. I don't think that you can maintain that. I think that slows it down. You got some on your eyelash, by the way. I think it slows it down. But
on my eyelash?
But it doesn't. You're not winning because that was the whole point of a lot of Last of Us is the fact that you saw, even though they had, they're behind they were behind the walls and everything like that. Things behind the walls weren't that great. People were getting publicly executed, getting thrown out, and constantly after curfew, things like that for reasons that may have been because they were infected, may not have been because they were infected. So you already have the population slowly going into a decline because of that. Because children were also tough to wrangle and keep alive at that point because there's less methods. But then on top of that, you have other humans killing other humans, and the fact that if one of those creatures got to you, you became one of them. So if you kill one of them is dead. If you kill one of you guys, one of you is dead. But if they kill one of you, they get one. So essentially, the idea is the fact that they have the odds. The odds are always against human. The odds are always against human because we will start killing each other as well as they are killing us. They're not killing each other. They are a unified body attacking us.
My question is, I wonder if... Well, no, you're right.
So even though they show that level of if it ever gets to that though, I feel like that's just once again why I think the slow zombie is much more horrifying is the fact that even though that is what it is, that's where we get to, and yes, that is a type of stabilization. I don't think that that's still maintainable. I think it's just a slower decline into more chaos.
I think there's more tactics that you can use against slow zombies, though.
True, but
It gives you time to think of tactics and think
How
things
fast
through.
do they turn?
are we talking Last of Us? Or are we talking about in our hypothetical scenario?
In our hypothetical scenario, how fast do they turn? Because if it's a thing of someone gets bit and they have days till they turn, then I don't feel the zombie apocalypse would last.
I disagree.
I personally don't, because it would be a thing of I feel like shit, I go to the doctor. Maybe I turn at the doctor's and then I bite the doctor. The doctor knows that I got bit because I told him. And then he's going to be all, oh, well, I need to study this thing and tell everyone about it. Now everyone already knows, and there's only been 2 bites.
True, but you're also assuming you go directly to the doctor. A lot of people don't go. A lot of people are sick and don't go to the doctor. They just muscle through it. I know a lot of people that they're just like, I can't afford health care, so I'm not going to go to the doctor. I'm just going to muscle through it. And like they would tell me like, oh yeah, I coughed up a little bit of blood, but it's fine. I that's normal. Sarah was one of those. She would be like, oh yeah, I'm like constantly bedridden and everything like that, but you know it's fine. I can't afford health care. I'll just survive it. And I'm like, you really need to go to the doctor. You just to make sure that you're not like talking about cancer. Like there's a lot of people that do that, and I feel like a slow transformation. And Zane, tell me what you think of this. A slow transformation is kind of like this. If I bite somebody, let's say I'm a zombie. If I bite Zane, and Zane immediately turns, I think people are gonna know something's up. Zane starts attacking people. People are gonna immediately see, especially if it's in public. People are gonna immediately be like, okay, we need to stop these two because you don't want to touch the guy that's it. But if I bite Zane and Zane's like, oh fuck, they probably took me out. I mean, depending on if I only bite one person. If I bite 5 or 6, now that's the question. If I bite 5 or 6 people, that's 5 or 6 time bombs going in different directions.
Yeah.
That now suddenly that's why I think it'll be scary, because most people, yeah, you'll get a couple that'll go straight to the doctor, but I think there'll be a couple that'll just like, it's just a little bite. Yeah, all it has to be is a little nick. And it's just, that hurts, that sucks.
But
I'm gonna go home.
It's never a little nick.
You don't know that.
It's the full thing of a human mouth that rips out a lot of skin, and that's a lot of bleeding.
That's not true. That's not true at all. If the Resident Evil was another one where they turned if they just came in contact. One guy got a drop of blood to the eye, and went and then turned immediately. Although that was a fast turn, but he just like looked up. A drop of blood came to an eye.
That was 48 hours later.
Oh, was it 48? I thought
and that was
Yeah, it
that
was.
Rage,
Okay,
that was Rage virus, which was fast.
Which was fast, but I'm saying that's the type of infection. You just have to come in contact with it. Just
Is
Then
this
that's a fast
based?
infection.
What world is this based in? Is another question.
Earth? I mean, Earth modern day.
I mean, is this our world where we know what a zombie is? We all know what a zombie is. We talked about it. We're talking about it right now. Or is this a world where what does the word zombie even mean?
I still feel like even if we know what a zombie is, it's still gonna happen.
Because if we know what a zombie is, and a guy gets bitten by a guy that's weird that we had to kill, that guy's put under surveillance, and we're like, this could actually be zombies. But if this is a world where we don't know zombies, the guy's just gonna be like, dude, that guy bit me. Isn't that weird? Well, let's go to bed together and pretend like it was nothing, and then he'll kill you in your sleep.
I feel like it would be that. I would feel like it would be the other one, because if someone bites you, even if it's not a zombie or something, everyone would go, I need to get this disinfected and all this stuff. And then if it starts rotting and it's a slow turn, then it's a thing of, this is really getting bad. And then you can't ignore it, because
keep on going to the idea that people start turning into these like patchy skin's falling off of them, eyes falling out, teeth are coming out kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that. They just have to turn a little pale, and they look exactly the same.
I think that's
they're not rotted yet. They're just essentially their brain is gone, but they look the same. They look human. That's the idea of the first couple of zombies. They're not going to be these flesh kind of guys. They're just going to be white, and you're not going to accept that. Once again, it's one of those things where you look at a dead person at a funeral. You don't accept they're dead. You think that at first your brain goes, they're sleeping. That's a sleeping person. They're just sleeping. But then you start, after you look at them just a little bit longer, you start to see something's off, something's wrong, something's different about the sleeping person. That's our brains not accepting the idea that they are dead. And that's what I feel like the first onset of the zombie apocalypse will be, and I feel like that will be our downfall, because you do have to catch it at the beginning to stop it. If it gets to the point where where you're like saying we gotta nuke the city, you're gone. You're done. The government has already lost. Because outside cities that don't have this infection, they're going to see a government bombing a city. That's all they're going to see. They're not going to think about, oh, well, it's a zombie apocalypse, or we got to take care of this. And also, let's hope that they get every single zombie in that bombing. They might not. You never know.
There's so many things that are up in the air. Because there's so many different ideas of the zombie that you can toss around. Because Nate's vision of the zombie, we've seen before. Your vision of the zombie, we've seen before. So there's no definitive thing. Yeah. If there is a possibility of a real scientific zombie, it's most likely these viruses that we're talking about. And in that case, you're going to notice. And it's going to take a while for it to take over. So if we're talking about the most realistic zombie I think possible,
it would probably be the last
I think Nate would be right. Scientific-wise.
I think a fast... Well, see, and here was my whole argument. It's not as much that fast zombies aren't effective. My thing is fast zombies will be gone within the week. Like, if we're talking... If every single zombie turns into a sprinter, we're done. That's the end of life, because we will not have the power to be able to be able to fight that, because no matter who... The idea of a zombie is they can't feel. They can't feel pain. So they can run faster, they can run longer than any human can. They will just essentially be a wave of dead people across the country.
Well, even World War Z had their ridiculous sprinters and climbers and hive minds.
The movie did.
But still we had...
The book's a little different.
But still we had months and weeks and years where we didn't all die at once. It was more of a thing of we got to... boats and everything where we know that these zombies can't swim because they just run.
But I'm still, well, they technically, I mean, there was the idea though that they don't swim, but they can survive underwater in the book. But I'm still saying I think it's, yes, people will go out to the boats and everything, but once again, how long does that last? How long do they last? If the zombies win, fast zombies, in my opinion, will win, and I feel like there's no. It's the same thing as if you were to torture someone. If there's no hope, then if there's no hope, there's no fear. You kind of just go into it being like, I mean, that I could see more people going into a horde of running zombies going Rambo, because they're like, if I turn and run, I'm gonna die. So I might as well take as many of these fuckers with me. And I feel like they still won't win, because a fast zombie apocalypse is just a wave of people. Whereas the idea, which is why I'm saying it's not as scary to me. To me, I'm like, I would fast zombies, I'd go down fighting, because it's and I'd still go down fighting with slow zombies.
Wait, you said you would lay down and just give up?
If I had the ability to fight, I would fight. But I mean, I don't own any guns, so it's like, what am I gonna do? I guess I'd pick up the heaviest object and start swinging. Yeah, I'll probably.
Would you go Joel? Would you go all Joel on them and start punching away?
Yeah.
That takes some balls to punch a zombie in the face.
No, that's just adrenaline rush, and you're just, if I run, I'm dead anyways. Might as well hit it.
But that's where I think it's actually scarier to me, the slow zombie, because there's more of we lose the more humanistic aspect of ourselves, because we become, it's not as much, and I use The Walking Dead as an example. The Walking Dead, at first it was all about the zombies. If you watch the show, the early seasons, it's all about surviving the zombies, running away from the zombies, keeping out from the zombies, finding safe places from the zombies. And then slowly it starts to become less about the zombies and more about the characters and about their interactions with other people they find. You start to see less and less zombies as it goes on, or walkers, or whatever you want to call them. It becomes more of, how are we going to survive? How do we trust this person we just randomly ran into? And the answer is you don't. It almost always ends up being some kind of gunfight. And that's where I think
Not always.
that's
The
where
show
I
wasn't
think
a gunfight.
the horror is the fact that we will disband to the Last of Us is the same way. You become a thing where you leave the safety of the place, of the people in the place that knows you.
But they have
You will
running
be-
zombies.
Yes.
I don't think slow and running zombies change that.
Well,
Yeah. I just think the Doom aspect is with both zombies.
I just feel like running zombies, you're gonna have a much larger fallout, and I feel like you're gonna if you don't immediately wipe out by the end of the week, then you will be very close to it. Whereas a slow zombie, I feel like it's a slower degradation to that point, and I feel like that's what's scary, is the idea that more and more people try to hold on. People try to hold on to their old style of living. There'll be the people out in the boonies that'll be like, well, we're safe, we're fine, it hasn't hit us yet, and then it'll hit them, and then it'll hit the next people, to the point people will be committing suicide and things like that. Whereas a lot of people would be like, I see people running at me. We need to. Whereas there's a loss of hope with slower zombies, and I feel like more people take up arms to the fast zombie idea. The fast zombie is more about us versus them rather than us versus them versus us, with the slow zombie mentality. That's why I think slow zombies are scarier.
The reason I say fast zombies are scary is because with fast zombies, you would have more groups of people trying to band together and fight against them. With slow zombies, it would be more of you fighting against other humans, or other humans getting to the point where they're all, well, this is funny. They can't even walk towards me, and then they would start killing a bunch of them, and then it would be more of focusing on the fact that humans would start attacking each other more to wipe out their own numbers.
Exactly. That's exactly
But
my point.
I
Is
think
the fact
that
that I
to
feel
be
like fighting zombies isn't scary. Fighting zombies is actually fun, because it's the animalistic instinct. It's why I forget, there was a game.
That's why I think slow zombies would be funner.
Dead Rising?
would be the more fun
Funner?
aspect, because Dead Rising does that, where they have the slow zombies, and then people made a game out of it to kill slow zombies.
Right.
Where it was like, it's even televised. Oh, kill these infected people. Where it's slow zombies and no one cares about them.
Dead Rising is also built on comedy.
Yeah, but
I don't
use
think it would
fast
ever
zombies.
come to that point.
They didn't use fast zombies before that, because fast zombies is more of a threat, an imminent threat, than a slow zombie is.
But I also think that fast zombies are an immediate threat. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
which-
I don't think that's scary. I think it's the same thing as if somebody fires a gun into a store, it's an imminent threat. It's an immediate threat.
Yeah,
I think horror, fear is that slow nagging threat.
So you think like somebody shooting a gun in a store is not as scary as somebody walking into the store and saying there are trained snipers everywhere?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because
That's still a gun.
right, but
But it's the idea that I can't see what's wrong, but there's something wrong.
yes, that's I totally agree.
Oh,
But
so you want more of a psychological?
Yes, it's one of those things where I feel like I'd be more like, to me it's an adrenaline rush. I am scared. I'm not saying I wouldn't be scared, but it's one of those things where if I hide behind this pillar, hopefully I'm safe. There's an idea of safety. Whereas if you're talking about trained snipers, you're like, I don't know where they are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who they're aiming for. It could be me. It could be the person next to me. It's paralyzing fear rather than straight action, gut wrench, kick to the, I need a punch or else I'm going to die fear. That to me is a different fear that's very momentary and reactionary. Whereas I feel like the true horror is the one that makes you freeze. I can't do anything. The one that makes you, the fear in Minecraft that makes you go, it's nighttime, I need to dig a hole and stay until sunup. I need to not move, because if I do, I will die. I most likely will die. And then after a while, you start to get braver. You start to get this, I'm okay. I can do this. You start to build houses. Maybe go out at night sometimes because you're still doing things. I'm talking about Minecraft still. But then one day they'll remind you why you don't go out at night, and you will suddenly, a creeper will walk up to you and or a zombie will a horde of zombies will corner you in a mine, and your sword will break or something like that, and eventually it'll get to you. You have that hope. That's what I'm saying. I personally find is the fear of the slow zombies is not the fact that the zombies themselves are scary. It's what they do to us that's scary, because they are always a constant fear and a constant threat, but they're not the main threat. They're not the us versus them. They're just another thing to fear. It becomes more of an us versus us, and that's what I think is scary. That's what I think personally is the idea of fear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say like I'll take a fucking fast zombie to the face. Fuck that guy. I'm just saying like I feel like a lot of people go, oh, fast zombies are the scary ones, and I'm like, yeah, necrophilia. I feel like I've always everyone's immediate reaction is fast zombie, and they're like, because a fast zombie could kill me. I'm like, but to me, death is not the scariest things. Death is not is what you fear.
But it's the most rudimentary fear.
Yeah, it is. Well, and it is, and that's the idea of slow zombies is you fear dying.
Yeah.
But I fear dying a horrible death, and I feel like slow zombies also would provide a horrible death.
Which
fast
also,
zombie will, as they're tackling you, they're gonna like snap your neck or something.
Which
like,
also
go crazy.
for a zombie apocalypse to be effective to the point where it gets to a global pandemic, I feel like the zombies would only bite. They wouldn't eat. Because as soon as it's like a zombie attacks one person and is eating them, it will get to the point where, okay, they are spending so much time on them that everyone else has so much reaction time. Instead of it being like, oh, they bit him and then went to the next person to bite them. Instead of how they have in The Walking Dead sometimes, where it's like they spend an entire time eating this entire body, and it's like that's gonna take hours.
Well, but that's the idea. That's exactly how it would be. I mean, if you got bit by somebody, you're not gonna be like, ow, 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 as you slowly feed your arm to their mouth.
Yeah.
You're gonna go ow, and you're gonna run. I mean, you're not gonna like stand there and I mean, I guess there is a fight or flight, but you're gonna like try to back up. Well, in that time, somebody else, if there is anybody else around, is probably gonna get their attention, and the zombie's gonna go after them. That's why I'm saying, like, if it's a slow infection, if that zombie gets more than one person, you now have 10 time bombs that are gonna go off, and maybe a couple of them get caught, and a couple of them go to the hospital. But a couple of them don't. Maybe a couple of them had a trip to Mexico that they're planning that they're not missing. They're just going to put a bandage on it. And now you just took it to Mexico, kind of thing. Like, that to me is the scary thing. And maybe it does get caught. Maybe people know, maybe the government, the CDC does know about the zombies. And they are imprisoning people. And people are going missing every single time they get a bite or something like that. Some people don't like the government. And some people don't trust the government. And some people also go, I'm bit. They're going to kill me. They're gonna put me through tests. I need to run, and that's their idea. They don't think about the fact that they're gonna infect the world. They're thinking, I need to run from the immediate threat that is the CDC, and they then become carriers.
Yeah, like in The Walking Dead, it gives you an option of you get.
Yeah, but
spoiler.
Walking Dead is slower.
Well, yeah, spoiler. You get bit, but you get the option to either show if you got bit or hide if you got bit, and I think. For a while, towards the beginning, it was pretty split average, which I thought was interesting. Because I showed them my bite, because I was like, I don't want to mess up all these other people that have helped me all the way here. But I get the idea of, well, I shouldn't tell them, because what if they kill me right here, right now? I have things to do. I have places to be.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like even though we know zombies in this world, and we have an idea of what zombies are, and I know a lot of people that are like, if a zombie apocalypse went, I would hold myself up in a mall, and I'd just start shooting. In a mall? I would start shoot because I think or a gun store or something like that, and I'd just start shooting them, and I'm like, you realize that you're gonna be like one of the first ones to die, right? No matter how many you take out, that's the idea of the zombie apocalypse. No matter if you kill one, 10 take its place. Every bullet you fire is 10 more that come to you. And also the fact that, I mean, like, the people that are like, well, it's all about fighting and weapons and everything like that. Well, when are you going to eat?
Yeah, that's a suspension of
when you get a
disbelief,
drink.
though.
Right, but I put it in the fact of real world, and I
Well,
posed to
real
you
wor-
another question. Like, let's say your mother was one of the ones that was bit.
Yeah.
Your mama was bit. What do you do? You know, what do you do if she goes to sleep one night, not feeling too well? She's gonna turn early, gets up, isn't feeling too well, starts attacking your family. What do you do? Are you really? Could you? And I mean, there's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet that could be like, yeah, I could kill my mom, but I'm like, I don't think I could do that, dude.
It depends on
I
the
couldn't.
people.
I couldn't look my mom in the face because once again, she's not a shambled corpse at this point. She's not like skin's fall. I mean, depending on what zombie you talk
Yeah.
about, but the skin's not falling off. Everything I got, she looks almost human, but just slightly off. She's that sleeping person, but not sleeping. Could you really be? Could you really jump to the conclusion of she's a zombie? I need to kill her. That's where I go. That's where I think everybody goes. Oh, we're prepared. We know so much about zombies. We'd be fine. I'm like, I kind of feel like either you do one of two things.
Yeah.
You do kill them, and then guess what? Nobody else knew that was a zombie. So you're now tried in court, put away for murder. Or you don't kill them. You run and you help spread the virus. There's no winning. Fear the Zombie 2015.
Another hashtag.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Do you
And-
prefer fast zombies? Do you prefer slow zombies? What do you think is more of a likely scenario in
Yeah.
this time of day?
Actually, describe what the perfect zombie-esque apocalypse would be, because unfortunately, in real world scenario, zombies would decompose way too fast to spread the infection, anyways. But
If they're
I think-
they're
yeah,
held
I
to
think-
human biology.
Fast zombies are BS.
If they're
Personal
held to
opinion.
human biology.
Personal opinion.
Well, one last
let
thing.
us know.
One last thing, just to wrap this all up. World War Z, at least from what I could understand, is they had most of the stories were slow zombies.
Yeah.
But they called it an Africanized rabies, I believe, in the book, or somewhere it said that.
Something like that.
And that to me sounds like at first, when you're first bitten, you're fresh. Your muscles are fresh. Your skin is fresh. Everything's good. You could run. They could be runners. But as they run, you know, the bone,
It
your
deteriorates
bones, you
and-
deteriorate, things like that. Then you become the shambling corpses that become the slow
Well-
zombies. So the later apocalypse, slow, and the early apocalypse,
Yeah.
fast.
Well, it depends how
Maybe it's
fast
both.
the body decomposes. Because if it's a real life scenario, I'm not going to go into this. But look up how they
if it's held.
embalm bodies for burial and why they do it. Because there's a certain time period before the body starts decomposing, and in heat it will explode, and blah
But
blah
it,
blah blah blah.
once again, it's if
Science
it's held to the
section.
same. It's if it's held to the same standard of,
Yeah.
of human biology. Post
Which
in the
would mean
comments.
it'll be
Let us
like-
know what you think. I actually am very curious to see what people think about
Sexy.
zombies. Zombies.
All right.
We really want to make a 360 video, and we were thinking of making it zombie themed. Hopefully, we'll see.
Don't talk about future content.
We got to get the GoPros. Well, no, I mean, have you seen the 360 videos? Have you watched any of those yet?
Yeah, we don't. We also don't own any of the stuff.
We don't. We do need to kind of actually invest in some of that. But
We also don't have
But Zane,
any
have you
money.
watched any of the 360 YouTube?
Yeah,
videos?
you sat me down and we watched one together
They're-
one time.
They're pretty good. They're
Look out for
pretty
those
cool.
360 videos.
Nate, you have an Android. Have you watched them on your Android? You
No,
have
not
the
really.
motion control thing.
No.
Somebody told me about this thing we can actually buy called Google Cardboard,
Okay.
and it sounds like essentially it's like a simulated Oculus where it has the
Oh
glass.
yeah, that's been around for a while.
And yeah. I hadn't heard about it before, but you just pop a phone in. I kind of told him, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I need to go buy a phone then.
Awesome.
I'm like, I have an iPhone, and all the 360 videos look like this weird stitched cross on iPhones. So it doesn't look good. It
Alright.
kind of sucks. I really wish it didn't do that, because I actually really like the 360, especially the 360 behind the scenes videos. So cool.
360
So
selfie.
I think there actually is one of those, isn't there?
I
think there is.
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts on the 360 selfie? Because we're only at 44 minutes.
Yes, Adam, your
We got a little bit of
360
time.
selfie.
Wait, we spent 44 minutes talking about zombies and humping dog graves.
Okay, so zombie dogs.
I need to take.
Going back to the
piss.
zombies topic, just one last time.
Oh God.
This is the last thing. Last thing I promise.
I'm gonna stab you.
In The Walking Dead, animals don't become zombies.
No.
Okay.
Do you think they would become zombies?
No.
No?
No.
Infections don't
biologies.
always go between every species in
Alright.
the animal kingdom. Just like we don't have the cordyceps in humans.
All right.
Or
No
the-
zombie dogs.
For instance, the
Zombie's best friend.
H1, whatever the
H1Z1.
the pig swine flu thing.
Oh.
That started.
H1
That was like pigs or something.
I like how you go to a disease and we both think of video games.
H1.
You guys are ridiculous. That was like
Swine
pigs or
flu.
something.
What
And
is
then we had before then
Swine
what was
flu
the
is
big
H1.
pandemic? Well, there's a giant pandemic about Black Plague. Everyone knows about that one, where it was like fleas to rats to humans. They are very specific, and they have to mutate to a certain point to get to other species, and then at that point, they may be super lethal to us. They may not.
I think a bite to the neck's pretty lethal. That's just me, though.
Just need one good bite.
Uh,
All right, I'm done. I'm done with the zombie topic. I've,
All right,
I've
guys.
beaten that topic to death this last week. I give up. Post in the comments.
yeah, I almost
and
stabbed him
comments.
multiple times. So, closing.
Closing what? We're not closing the podcast.
I'm going to take.
Why
a
do you
piss,
keep closing? Well, then go. Just Jesus.
Oh,
This is what alcohol does to you.
You just pee a lot.
Don't drink the alcohols. Drink
I'll drink
sodas. That's just gross.
Oh, you got you.
That's just gross. So Zane, how have you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
I've been doing well. How's your week going?
Pretty good. Prepping for going back to school. I've been on break.
Still?
Yeah. Our school has a longer break for everything but summer.
But summer.
Yeah, summer we have a shorter break. And I've been working with editing videos, the norm. I picked Persona back up because I didn't do it while I was gone in New York. I've been playing PlayStation Now a lot because I got a 7-day free trial.
That's still going?
No, it just ended yesterday.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you sure it ended? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Well, yes, I canceled it. I canceled it before, but they could have still charged me. I don't know.
See, that's how they get you though. Is like they don't tell you when your free trial is up, and then they just charge.
Actually, PlayStation Now was kind of nice about it. I mean, they weren't the best. They were like, hey, if you want to cancel this, cancel it on the 28th. So they told me the date that I needed to cancel it, but they didn't like give me an alert whenever it happened or anything.
It'd be funny if they like mumbled through the text in the email, like, if you want to cancel this,
Just,
cancel it through the. It's like
Anyway.
it's like scribbled letters on it. It's like, did you just mumble through an email? That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but Persona. I'm playing Persona. And I think Persona has some of the. I love the idea of Persona
This is like the third podcast that we've talked about Persona.
because it's a long game. It's
Just
a
because
long
it's a
game.
long game, you're going. You have
It's
to
the
talk
only
about
game I'm playing right now, so it's all I have to talk about.
Persona 5 came out.
No. I wish though. Also, I don't think you flushed the toilet.
I did flush the toilet.
Oh,
Persona
okay.
5 and Half-Life 3.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. It's coming out. It's going to come out if we start an online petition, because they always work every
Those
single
never
time.
work.
Every single time an
When
online
have those
petition is made.
ever worked? Actually, someone post in the comments.
I think the last time I would know of an online petition, it was, I think it was a remake for a game. Was it? It was that PlayStation one, with the skeletons that I never played. Do you guys not know what I'm talking about?
Oh! I do know what you're talking about. It's a point and click.
It's like the Mex. El Ban. I keep wanting to say El Banditos, and
It is not El
that at all.
Banditos. It is something else.
Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
I think that was an online petition. I could be totally wrong, 100% wrong. Laser Revolver podcast.
Quote.
You come to us for Incorrect facts.
Put that on the box.
So we were watching Powers just like 5 minutes ago.
Powers.
I'm trying to forget it.
Those. That.
Well, what is Powers?
not that bad.
Let's go over what Powers is.
Not that bad. It's so Powers. The one we were watching is the show rendition of the comic book. I've never read the comic book. I just know it is a comic book. And it was released for PSN guys free. This isn't new news. This is
PlayStation Plus.
yeah, PlayStation Plus got it for free the whole season. And I just finished it. These two kind of came and watched the last episode with me.
Well, didn't you say it's not finished though?
I don't know. I tried to look it up. I didn't see any more scheduled. So it might. Although 5 episodes for one season is pretty short.
They may have finally given up on that guy's horrible acting.
So what's the name of the main character? You don't like him. You've seen him in a couple things. What's his name?
I don't know his name. I forgot it.
He starred in like District 9.
District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. He always plays the main characters.
Those are big movies, though. So you think he didn't play the main character in District 9? Is that
Yeah, he
British dude?
He is the British dude.
Yeah, he fake
What?
accent.
Yeah.
What? I totally didn't know. I liked him in District 9 then. Who was he in Chappie?
He was Chappie.
Oh, well, okay, so he's a robot. I like Chappie. What? How dare you? You didn't like Chappie?
No.
Chappie was adorable. I want a Chappie of my own.
Chappie needed to grow up.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Spoilers, we're not going to spoil Chappie. Let's spoil District 9. District 9, he was hilarious. He was a funny character. I really liked his character.
Wait,
I-
what?
I think British
He
dudes
was
are
a
funny.
massive
Funny?
douche in
I-
District 9.
I think British people are just
I don't
funny,
remember
though.
him being a douche either.
I do.
I don't know.
Remember how he was evicting, like, prongs from their homes?
Yeah,
and
but
literally just
that's-
not giving a shit at all?
Well,
No,
that's
I
what
don't
his
remember
job
that
was.
either. He was a news reporter. He just came in and he was like, so this is what's going on, and then he was following the police that were evicting people. So he was just a reporter, from what I remember. He didn't do it. He was just there.
Nate's like, from what you remember,
Yeah.
I watched a different movie.
Okay.
Nate watched District 10. He watched a completely different movie.
Upgrade.
It was the porn version. District 69.
But I digress. I just don't like his acting.
The problem is I did like his acting in those movies. I don't like his acting in this show. I really don't. Although I always have a hard time telling the difference between bad writing and bad acting. Like those are very meshed together. Especially
If
in
you've
this movie.
seen multiple
or the show.
films or renditions of them doing it, it's bad acting.
I don't know. I just because there are times where it's just so essentially Powers is about a ex superhero who lost his powers and becomes a cop in a special cop division meant to regulate people who have powers, essentially renegade power users. And it's essentially, and here, this is the least spoiler I can do, but at the same time revealing the most about the show. You have the old cop, the old veteran cop, and you have the newbie on the new guy on the beat, new girl. It's a female actor, but
On the beat.
the new person on the beat just got into the powers division. She's a hothead and everything like that. Watch them solve mysteries. It's like that's what it is, and it's not even mysteries. Like it's just their day to day trying to find out what this one person who is the bad guy, but then isn't the bad guy, but then is a bad guy. Like what they're up to. It's like this whole like I don't know what anyone is doing at any one point in time, and it's just they're all very like 2-dimensional gray characters that are you always know that the newbie cop is always going to do something that gets everybody in jeopardy because she's gonna just do it her way. The main character is gonna be like, no, you gotta do it by the book because he's the old veteran, and then you have the bad guy who's generic bad guy because he's bad because they said so. You have the damsel in distress girl that just wants to be liked, and then you have and then you have a bunch of other characters that aren't fleshed out in any way except for whenever they need to be there.
Damn.
It's just not. The writing is not good.
When I
it's
see
hard.
it, I see a lot of potential in all of it.
It doesn't
But
help
they
that
didn't.
have that guy.
Yeah, but it didn't like.
It's an interesting
Do anything
idea.
special.
It's an interesting idea that's not executed very well at all, in my opinion. I feel like they probably could do very well with a season 2. I could definitely tell this is like a first try new IP kind of. Well, I say new IP, but a new show that's trying. And a lot of shows, their first seasons, they do need to kind of get their legs. And I probably will watch a season 2. I've invested enough. The main villain, by the way, is the most interesting character and the best actor of all of them. His name's Wolf. I'm gonna try my best not to spoil because it is fairly new.
Who's the actor?
I don't know his actual name. I don't know the actor's name. I just know I really like his acting. He's done. I could look it up, but he's really good, and he's the most interesting character, and he's the one that gets the least screen time, which to me is a bad combination.
Yeah, they probably should have cast him as the main character then.
But and like I said, I'll probably watch it if they do a season 2.
Yeah.
But that's because I think season 2, it's like you kind of on the We Are Entertained podcast, they talk about 3 episodes, or they'll give it to see if they're interested. I was interested enough to watch it. I don't think I ever did it because there were hour episodes, so I don't think I ever did it in one sit down. Like a lot of the episodes I watched and then would stop, then come back and watch and stop. I couldn't sit down and watch one full episode.
So you basically forced yourself through it.
I kind of did, and I feel like I've forced myself to a point where it's like I do actually want to know. I do actually want to see the show be good. But right now it was such a rough first season. God dang it. Wolf Powers,
I think
Wolf Psychology, Superpower Wiki.
I think it's Wolf with an E.
I think it is too, but now I got Teen Wolf. I'm not doing very well on this.
Are
Put an
you
E.
kidding me?
Put an E.
Dude, do PlayStation
Wolf.
Powers.
Powers.
I think I got it.
Wolf.
Wow, that was the worst Google search I've ever seen.
Yeah. Sage is not very specific.
While we were watching, we started talking about something that I thought would be interesting to talk about. Favorite, like, I mean, it's the most basic question ever, but what superpower, Nate? What do you want? What superpower would you want?
Does it have to be super realistic? Like, do I have to apply
No.
science to it?
Not to the degree that I know you're going to.
Okay. Well then,
Eddie Lazard.
wait. How ridiculous can
As
power
Wolf.
get? Because there's like reality benders, which is basically your
Let-
god.
Let's stay like basic, like the most basic powers,
Okay.
Charlotte Copley is the main character as well.
including
I think
like
I butchered that name.
what? Say that again.
Charlotte Copley.
Cool. We're talking about powers now.
I would say
That we would-
Superpowers or
yeah,
like the show?
Superpowers that we would have.
Oh.
I'd say teleportation.
I think everyone wants teleportation. Teleportation is the most overpowered power you could have, other than, I guess, being Superman. But, I mean, being Superman is to have almost every power that is
Yeah.
convenient for the plot.
See,
Or actually, I take that back. Telepathy, because I need money.
Nope,
That
I'd still do teleportation.
I would do health.
Teleport into a bank, grab some, leave.
Yeah, but now I can just have everyone believe that that's my money already. Everyone.
I feel like it's a means to the same thing though.
Yeah, but your
grab-
way, they're going to be searching for someone. My way, they're not.
I would do health regeneration.
What? So you would be the person who gets
Regeneration.
tortured over and over and over and over and like they would chop your head off.
Can
like
you
7
still feel
times.
pain though?
I don't know. I guess it depends. I didn't really factor that in. I don't think you can feel pain unless
Why healing though?
healing, because then nothing really. Because then I could do cool stuff.
Zane wants to be the action hero. We're like we want money.
I don't
we
know
want
if it's
power.
I feel like you'd get the power and then you'd run into battle or something, get shot once and be all, this sucks, and just leave.
I like. Oh, I really don't like that.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Or I just want. What if you could just like have the ability to like know how to do anything just by like touching it? Like I would be like pick up a katana, and now I'm like proficient in that weapon.
Is
I'm
that
like,
is that what that is?
yeah, and then like
If
pick
you
up a
touch a
gun, and I'm a
katana-
marksman.
You learn how to be a how to. I don't know if. I don't know. That seems very specific though.
But like only for the time I'm holding it.
If I touch a table, I suddenly know how to do carpentry. Like,
Yes.
how specific do you have to be with it? Like, could you touch a table and know how to make
seems-
that specific table, or
Seems interesting. Might be slightly overpowered, but I don't know. That would be perfect
Depends
for
how
like
it works.
a hitman type or something.
but I'm saying like,
I
if you
can
hold
become
gun,
a table.
If you hold a gun, you know how to be a marksman. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me because the gun doesn't make you a marksman. Your knowledge of how to use the gun. Excuse me, how to use the gun. Now, if you touched a gun and knew how to like take it apart, build it again, what it was made
Okay.
out of, I could see that. But like the fact that you touch
What
a
if-
sword and
what if
then
you can
then
learn-
you know judo,
No,
You can
no,
learn
doesn't
the
make sense.
history of anything that you touch, and you like that you
I could
gain
never,
that knowledge.
I could
Nope.
never sleep in a
I
hotel
got it.
room. I could never do it. That would be horrifying. Just
Nope.
touch the bed and oh my god,
No, perfect thing.
Bill Clinton, no. What?
Control over liquids.
You're a waterbender,
That's
but
very
with all
specific.
liquids.
With all liquids.
It's very specific.
Oh, you
You
could
know-
just kill people.
Yeah,
you would just
know
go.
how overpowered you'd be.
Well, that's the thing with like.
You could literally like walk into a room and just dehydrate everyone.
That's the idea of blood bending,
Or-
though. Like, if you have blood running through your veins, you just like
Yeah.
and rip all of it out.
Now, are
and
we
you're
talking about the ones
dead.
overpowered or the ones we'd want? Because I'm still sticking with teleportation.
If we're going with basic ones, I guess I would also go teleportation. I think
I
we all
only
just
have
want to
one?
teleport.
Can I only have one?
What?
Can I only have one?
Yes, you can only have one.
Oh.
You get one power. That's the other thing with powers, by the way, is the fact that they do have a lot of people that have. I mean, there are people with really strong powers and people with really weak powers. Like there's this guy called Levitation Boy who can levitate. I'm serious. He can levitate 3 feet off the ground. That's his power.
There's a little insight to how on the nose the dialogue is.
He takes this power enhancer and is able to fly at this point, but then the power enhancer wears off. This is a spoiler, by the way. Power enhancer wears off and he just falls to the ground and dies.
Yeah. Do they ever explain?
Can he not
why this-
levitate?
Apparently not if he's going at high velocity. Can he
He's
slow himself
literally
down?
the worst.
Wait, so he dies?
Yeah. Like they find his corpse the next day on like smashed on a car.
Wow.
Lame.
I guess he was like making a YouTube video of here's my name and here's what I can do, and it was like you know the people that do YouTube videos
Yeah.
that are like to do stupid
So
things.
they did
He
a
made one of
cliche
those.
episode, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, that I mean, they were explaining Sway, so it wasn't really a cliche episode as much as it was just like
Yeah.
there are people who have powers in there that like you asked me there's this character named Zora in there, and you asked me what her power was, and I was like the ability to make electric boxes.
I would.
That's all I really know because there's a fight scene later on where she uses it as a wall, and I'm like, but these boxes are electrified, and this guy's just touching on them. So I'm like, so they're not electrified, they're just
Hey.
boxes.
They have to
So-
make sure that he's overpowered at certain points.
So is it
but
telepathy?
I don't know.
But then she wouldn't need the boxes. Then what do the boxes do? What's in the box?
What's in the
What's
box?
in the box?
Your wife's head.
Oh.
It's a really dark power. I don't know. That's my ending thought. Any last thoughts about powers?
I wish it was better than it was because I'm interested.
The funny thing is, none of these two have actually watched it. I'm the only one that could actually have actual
We
educated
just watched the
closing
last
thoughts.
episode with you.
I watched the last episode,
Yeah, we
and I
watched
got
it.
to see an amazing flashback scene with amazing two teenage actors. One of them was staring at the ground for no reason.
We did not watch the last one.
Oh,
We didn't.
There's
We-
10
we
episodes
watched.
slated.
Oh, so
we
we
watched
watched
episode
episode
5. We got halfway through.
We're halfway. I am halfway. Maybe it gets better.
Maybe.
Most likely not.
Hold the hope.
We'll
It-
podcast about how great it got.
We should have a powers episode where we just talk about powers.
I wanna
We'll do
make
it
a
on
bet,
episode
actually.
10.
I want to make a bet.
What's your bet?
I bet that
Be
They
careful.
kill
You were not
Wolf.
ready with this.
no, I bet
I
that
lobbed
they
it
kill
up.
Wolf at the end.
Kill Wolf?
Yes.
I don't know. He's too good of a character.
I feel like they kill him.
No.
Somehow he's going to die.
They can't kill off the best character. No way. By the way, the name of the last one is called "Fuck the Big Chiller." Technically,
What?
it's F @ K, the Big Chiller, but we all know what they mean.
Frack.
What do you guys bet?
I'm gonna bet he probably gets away. I bet you they all lose their powers.
Every single person loses
Yes.
their powers.
I bet
Oh,
you they
yeah.
all lose their powers and slowly are getting them back. I really have no clue. I have no clue where it's gonna go.
Okay.
Because that's the weird thing is honestly they could have ended the season on episode 5. Like honestly they.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it. But it really was like we all watched episode 5 and thought it was the end of the season. So it's
Well,
kind of like
I thought if they were gonna make, I thought they were gonna make him more of a overlasting villain for the rest of it. Like,
they might. That's the thing. They might, but we don't know.
but the end.
We don't know.
Spoilers.
No spoilers. It's too soon. It's
Too
recent.
soon. Too spoon.
That episode just came out this week,
Yeah.
so we can't. We gotta be careful a little bit.
Walt dies. Anyways,
Walt does die.
Okay. Wow.
I do want to
Cool.
go back and watch Breaking Bad again.
Because Powers is the equivalent.
No,
no.
no,
You need to just leave.
no. Okay,
Just get up, go out there, jump in front of the street,
sell some meth.
sell some meth.
Sell some meth. Get that blue crystal,
And then I'll experience the show for myself.
and then watch Powers.
Actually, Powers might be incredibly brilliant show. If
It's a
we're
good
all
high movie.
high. Or what if we made a drinking game out of it?
Oh my god.
Terribly delivered lines. You have to take a shot.
Okay, this is not a spoiler. This is just one of the bad acting moments. And I feel bad because, once again, we are artists. We don't like to really criticize too harshly. But it was kind of a terrible delivery. It was the character, but the young actor for the main character because they were doing flashback scenes. And he goes, you have to be watching the video podcast to be able to see what I'm doing. We could be powerful and we could be heroes. Like, it's like, I'm like, what is he looking at? Why is he constantly is like looking at the ground whenever in between every single line. And I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
The script was there.
he didn't memorize his lines. That's exactly
That's pretty good.
Okay, any last thoughts on zombies and powers?
Zombies with superpowers.
That's actually a thing. Well, actually, no, it's not.
Okay.
Actually, it was.
I'm
There
sure
was
it is
Marvel
somewhere.
Zombies.
But I read a that's true. Which I really liked a lot of people didn't like it, but I really like it. There actually was a comic I got at Comic-Con. It was like a starting comic, and it was a guy who can control zombies, like mind control zombies, and he would turn people into zombies and then mind control them.
Okay.
I forget what the name of it was. I
That makes
apologize. I
zombies
can't plug
have a
your
little
stuff,
bit more
but-
of a purpose.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those like 2 comics in one issue thing, and it's like you read to a certain point, then all the comics are upside down. And you have to flip it over and start reading. And I'm like, what's the point? You're just make it one comic, but yeah.
Because they want to make sure that you don't start at the end.
Just make it one comic.
Like you do with the manga, Naruto.
Anyway, so that was this week's Lazy Revolver.
Yeah.
What a fucking lame.
Next
ending.
week, we're going to talk about drugs and podcasts and how to make money.
Next
in
week we're going
5
to talk
seconds.
about Portal 3 because that's definitely coming out next week. Bye.
It's not coming out.